The most common question that I get when I'm traveling around the country is, what's the strangest thing you ever sold at auction? Well, that's easy. A locomotive. Yeah, you heard that right. I'm talking about a full-size train. I'm Chip Pierce, master appraiser and professional auctioneer. And let me tell you about an estate auction I conducted in Montgomery, Alabama. I get a phone call from a family. Their father had passed away and they needed help selling a warehouse full of old cars and stuff. When I pulled up, it looked exactly like what you're picturing. Huge, old, dilapidated factory building, windows broken out, doors barely hanging on the hinges, no power for years. So I grabbed my flashlight and I stepped inside. It's pitch black. As my eyes adjust and the flashlight beam swept across the room, I'm stunned. More than 50 vintage automobiles, 1920s through the 1960s, cars that hadn't seen daylight in decades. Model Ts, Model As, Lincoln Zephyrs, a '59 Cadillac limousine, and even a rare 1971 De Tomaso Pantera. But then I turn a corner and I literally stopped in my tracks. Sitting in the middle of this warehouse is a full-size locomotive. And not just any locomotive. It's a 1923 Baldwin log steam locomotive with its original tender still attached. It was absolutely incredible. But the story gets even better. This train had provenance. In 1959, Hank Williams Sr. wrote and performed his final song before he passed away. It was called The Old Log Train. That song was about his father, Lon Williams, who worked as the engineer on this very locomotive for the W.T. Smith Logging Company in Chapman, Alabama in the 1920s and 30s. Somehow this locomotive had escaped the scrapyard. And years later, the gentleman whose estate I was selling purchased it and hid it away inside this warehouse. He knew exactly what he had. We professionally marketed that locomotive and the entire car collection to potential buyers all over the world. And the result? Well, the locomotive sold for $225,000 to a private railroad owner in Connecticut who plans to restore it and put it back into service as a museum piece. And that rare '71 Pantera, we set a world record for an original, unrestored, in need of repairs Pantera at $165,000. Even that Cadillac limousine brought $85,000. I'm Chip Pierce, master appraiser and professional auctioneer. Follow me for more incredible stories from my life in the auction and appraisal business, because you never know what might be hiding inside that old rundown building. It might just be a train.